Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to ESPN's Football Forecast with myself, Hugh Wisencroft, and James Olcott, looking ahead to big games once again across the continent. But we're going to start in the Premier League and what possibly could be bigger. One of the best derbies in football right now for me as a Manchester United fan. It's the Manchester derby taking place at Old Trafford as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes head-to-head with Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. But I think after the recent game against Liverpool, it's going to be a tough experience for Manchester United once again. They got that win, James, didn't they? Excuse me, they got that draw, that late equaliser. Maybe it felt like a win against Atalanta in midweek, thanks to another Cristiano Ronaldo injury time goal. But was it another game that showed Manchester United just aren't where they need to be, and maybe Ronaldo, for many, papering over those cracks?
Possibly. I think there's the fact that the team had to sort of change a little bit because Varane, of course, got injured. I think that didn't help them at all. But that said, Atalanta were the better team in the first half of the game. Second half, Man United sort of huffed and puffed, but weren't really creating much at all. And to be honest, the first goal from Man United is impressive. It's what you want to see from Man United in terms of the build-up and then the execution. But the second goal is pure magic. It's almost this build-up is luck, to be honest. The ball gets flicked up in the air. I think if you watch it again, you can see Ronaldo kind of sort of shout at Mason Greenwood in that split second, and the ball is in the air, and Ronaldo does what Ronaldo does. For me, I think there's been a lot of discussion about Ronaldo and some kind of people thinking, get him out of the team, and that's the sort of viewpoint. I don't think that's the viewpoint with many, many people. The problem is, the question is, look, having Ronaldo in and scoring goals is great, but is the entire team's watermark in terms of how good they can be, is that going to be affected by having someone like Ronaldo? There's no doubt that he's always going to score goals for the team, but is the team's output going to be greater having Ronaldo in at the moment? Certainly at the moment, the answer has to be yes. And going into this game against Man City with the problems at the back, you want to play a back three against a fantastic Man City side. But I think they're struggling to find the numbers at the moment. Varane struggling with injury. Lindelof is a doubt as well. I'm reading reports that it could be a back three, if that's what Ole goes for, of Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Eric Bailly. How would you feel about seeing that? And do you think this is one where Ole has to go back to a 4, or should he stick with the 3?
Well, listen, Manchester City don't play with a recognised striker. It's likely to be a false 9. Could be someone like Phil Foden up there, maybe Gabriel Jesus, maybe Raheem Sterling gets a go down the middle of the pitch if he starts this game. The honest answer is they don't need 3 at the back against Manchester City, because if they do that, they basically cede possession. And Manchester City are a possession-based team. They will have the ball in deeper areas. They'll monopolise the midfield. And Manchester United will barely touch it if they have a back 3. You know, that might seem the safest option, but in terms of having a stranglehold in the match, you really hand the initiative over to Manchester City in that regard. So I'm not really sure they need a back 3 against Manchester City, but I do think it doesn't matter what defensive line they play, it's still going to be a difficult game for them. I just think an extra body in midfield, especially the way that the midfield has played of late, you need help. I don't know who's going to start in midfield. We've had the arguments over Fred McTominay, Matic, Pogba, you know, Bruno Fernandes, maybe Donny van de Beek. Who knows? The honest answer is, whatever midfield they put out, it's not going to be at the quality of Manchester City's, but you don't want to give away an extra body as well, because it would make for a very difficult afternoon's work. And look, when you look at Manchester City and you think about the idea that they're going to have a false 9 up there, they still create chances. They still score goals. Okay, it was Club Brugge in midweek, but we still saw that they did have something going forward, and they need to bounce back from recent poor results in the Premier League as well. I don't think it's going to be a chastening afternoon for Manchester United. I don't think it's going to be another drubbing, but it could be embarrassing. Just listen to this. I remember a game. I went to a game where Manchester City beat Manchester United 2-0 at Old Trafford. Leroy Sané scored the second goal. But Manchester United barely touched the ball for the entire game. They were being toyed with. It might have been 2-0 on the scoreline, but it was a total embarrassment. The difference in levels was huge. And I think if Manchester City show their quality in this game and Manchester United play as poorly as they did in midweek, it could be another embarrassment for Manchester United, whether it's a big scoreline or not. But that false 9 could be Phil Foden. So I just wanted to ask you about him, because I think he's been so impressive. I've seen him of late, in particular for England, and he's looked great. As a false 9, is that his best position? He's so versatile. What do you think?
Yeah, do you know what? I think in this side this season, with the lack of this sounds weird to say about Man City, the lack of attacking options in terms of that out and out striker, I think he probably is one of the best options. I think I like him out on the left hand side as well. And I think Man City are always quite fluid in how they play. I certainly think he's much better than Jack Grealish in that position. He seems far more confident in terms of just having a bit more electric pace to kind of go beyond as that false nine at times when the team wants to counter attack, but also get on the ball in any area on the pitch and do something fantastic. So yeah, I think he's really, really coming of age now, isn't he? He's becoming one of the most important players in this Man City side. And going into this game, when you come back to that back three, the one thing I wonder about Man United, and I said this before the Liverpool game, and this isn't a good thing to say, but it's almost one of those where Man United needs to sort of huddle up into a ball, get as close as they can, and just hang on and get past this football match, because football fans do have short memories. And for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he'd be looking at this and looking to recreate what happened against Spurs. Now, Spurs were absolutely useless in that game last week. But what I would say is that it looked like a very strong Man United side in terms of getting the ball up the pitch. They were working down the sides of the pitch, which allows them to not really use their centre midfield, which I think we've all discussed enough how average they can be at times in terms of moving the ball. And in Cavani, Ronaldo, and Bruno Fernandes up top, that gives you a chance. I think what you're saying is a great point, is the fact that, are they going to be able to work their way up the pitch? Like when Ronaldo or Fernandes gets a touch of the ball, are they going to be having that in the final third or just on the halfway line? That's my fear for Man United. But I think if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you're just trying to survive at this moment in time, and a draw is certainly surviving. I think everyone moves on after that. Do you think they can be that solid and hope for that Ronaldo moment?
I think they'll get a Ronaldo moment. I just think Manchester City will get a Jesus moment, a Foden moment, and probably a Bernardo Silva moment. Yeah, I think Manchester City are going to win it 3-1. I just think they're at a different level right now. I don't think they're as defensively great as we've seen them in the past, particularly for a long period last year. So I think Manchester United will get at least one goal, because they do have special players going forward and they are at home. But I think if Manchester City play anywhere near their level best, they will win this game quite comfortably, in my opinion. So what do you think will happen?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that back three and the injuries that are there at the moment. Maguire struggling a little bit with fitness and form. And for that reason, I see what you were talking about in one of those earlier Manchester derbies. I see Man City toying with Man United a little bit. I don't think it'll be outrageous. It's not going to be 4 or 5 like it was a couple of weeks ago. But I see a 2-0 victory away from home for Manchester City in this one. Hi guys, James Alcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.